Hey friends, Mike and Jess here.
And welcome to Regeneration Nation TV. We are watching the Ricky Gervais show. We are on season 2. This is episode 7, Nightclub.
Nightclub. I could eat an night. Gotta get the beat going. You guys have seen...
Okay, first of all, the episode that we just watched, I think it was Kidneys or something. Yeah, it was Kidneys. Didn't you sing that at the end of it when we announced that we were going to watch this one?
Maybe.
I think we did
Tied
the same exact thing.
It's come full circle.
We're coming full circle now.
Yeah.
I want more of
you guys have seen our friend Matt that's come on the channel a few times. He's pretty good at making beats.
Yeah.
Okay, he sent me one today. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get him to make his own variation of it because I know a lot of people have made that, but that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be.
I know he's like looking to practice, get back into
awesome.
it. Like, dude, I've got something.
I would love it.
Because he's a big fan. Anyways, all right. Well, we've got links, as always, down below. Let's get into this.
Let's do it.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Karl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right? Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Karl Pilkington.
All right. Karl, as you're aware, you've obviously got many celebrity fans, and you've also got a new fan, Warrick Davis, who is the short actor that many people will see in films like Return of the Jedi. He also is in Harry Potter. He's 3'6", and Ricky and I worked with him recently. And far from asking us about the many celebrity names that we've worked with, the only person he was interested in talking about, of course, Mr. K. Pilkington.
He wanted to meet you, Karl.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, is he all right to get on with?
Why wouldn't he be?
Just because sometimes when people aren't normal, it's just...
Sorry?
No, I just mean when someone... Like, I've met a few little people in my time. The one that I met a little fella once, and he was all right. He got drunk really quick. But he was all right, but it took me by surprise. Only because, like I've said about when I met Steve for the first time, it's only that same thing. And then if I lived with the little fella, I'm sure we'd get on a storm.
What do you mean when you met
There's
Steve?
a TV show waiting to happen.
Things wear off. That's like the world, isn't it? And it's the same with the little fella you're talking about. First time I see him, I'd be a little bit like, oh, what do you say? Whereas once you get to know him, I'm sure he'd be a lovely little fella.
I was wondering
Don't
how
call
they...
him a lovely little fella, though. Jeez,
well, I mean, he already said when
Louise.
people aren't normal. Like, wow.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
wondering how they met, you know? We've gotten some videos sent to us. Like, watch this before you watch season 3 of An Idiot Abroad. But
Right.
I didn't expect it to come in here before we watch that.
I don't know where to start, Steve.
But Warwick asks, really, what are your thoughts on short people, particularly in entertainment? Because, of course, they've, throughout the ages, made an appearance, particularly in fiction. Tom Thumb, of course, the Oompa Loompas.
What do I think of them?
He's just wondering, I suppose, what your take is.
They're all right. I mean, when I was on jury duty, every day I'd sort of see one pop in, and he'd be sort of struggling getting on the chair. And he'd sort of, he wasn't struggling in a way that he felt uncomfortable. He'd obviously climbed a lot of chairs in his time, and this was just another one. And watching him, it just makes you think. You go, I should appreciate that I don't have that problem every time I have to sit down and what have you. But I don't think it's that bad. If I had to pick being really tall or really small, I'd go for the really small one because, the world's a more interesting place for him, isn't it? Everything's bigger. Do you know what I mean? We go to New York and go, wow, look at this. And they go and they go, oh, dear. Do you know what I mean? Everything's a lot bigger. Everything's more amazing. Food portions. Everything's a bonus. So out of the two, I'd be small, and maybe that's what I'd chat to Warwick about for a bit, just to get to know him.
Brilliant.
No, I think that there's definitely pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous though. Like bigger food, like he's holding a giant hot dog. Okay.
Well, it is true because if you think about somebody smaller, they're more the
I mean,
size
yeah,
of a
like
child.
he was saying, he gets
Their
drunk
stomach's gonna
faster.
be smaller. They get
I
drunker
get that.
faster. Like
It's obvious.
those are
Saying
things
you go
like
to
that.
Sonic. I don't know if you guys have Sonic in the UK, but Sonic has the foot long hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like, it's still. I don't know, dude. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I think tall though. I think the cons. I've thought about that too before. Like, yeah, there's gonna be some cons being tall.
Yeah.
Beds, freaking doorways,
Clothes,
houses.
yeah.
Our last house had 7-foot ceilings.
Yeah.
So that would suck if you're like 6'6".
Yeah.
You have 4 inches of clearance in the house. But
You
yeah,
can't
then
ever jump.
But then the pros, oh yeah, you can't ever jump. You can't ever jump. You're getting knock yourself out. But yeah, the pros, man, what?
Can
You
reach,
can
everything. Yeah,
dude.
you can see a lot more than everybody else can.
Yep.
When you're at a concert, you don't got to worry about people standing in front of you.
Oh man, at a
You
movie
know,
theater,
grocery stores.
you're gonna make people mad. If
You're
I have a
jammed.
6'7" person sitting in front of me in the movie, I'm gonna be upset.
It's a shame in a way that he's not
I
been
want
able
a
to pop in.
refund.
I'd like to.
To get to know him.
Brilliant.
It's a shame in a way that he's not been able to pop in. I'd like to hear that conversation.
But I've got, speaking of like weird stuff and that, I've got a new.
Well, we weren't, but go on.
No, got a
I'm
new
gonna
book.
say
Do you
weird
know I had that Freaks book, Top 50 Freaks. Got a new one sent to me.
Really?
Yeah, and do you know like everything normally has a name. So like if it's the two-headed fella, they're all nicknames like that, aren't they?
They've got 2 nicknames, I imagine.
But this new book I've got, right, on the cover of this one, it's got like a woman with 3 breasts, right?
Okay.
And she's called the three-breasted woman, as you'd expect. The one face.
Why is she posing nude, though? That's
One faced.
Tart.
Well, she looks happy.
Face and he just said-
And there was a fella with like one face but 2 bodies.
Okay.
One face but 2 bodies.
One face, 2
what?
bodies.
What do you mean
So
one
it's weird.
face, 2 bodies?
Surely you want a head, 2 bodies.
Ed as well, but it was mainly the face that was weird because he looked fed up.
What are you talking
Face
about?
without a head.
How can you have? What do you mean? How did it join to the neck?
No, it did.
What?
It did have a head, but
Can
the
you
fact
just say
is,
head, please.
He
Just
said-
say a head.
but he
One
looked
head, 2
fed up.
bodies.
But he looked fed up.
The way that he describes stuff just throws you on this thing. Like, what does he mean when he says
Why
that?
is him looking
Because
fed up?
he sounds so
now
confident.
make it just a face and not a head.
He's
It's
so
like-
confident in what he says that it's like, this totally makes sense to me, so it has to make sense to everybody. I'm just going to say it. It's fine.
He looked fed up, and I only focused on his face. Therefore, it was only a face. The head disappeared in my mind.
it was weird that I had one face to me.
What do you mean?
Well,
if you've got
because
one
he had-
head, you'll have one face.
Yeah, I know, but it was the fact that he had one face and 2 bodies that I didn't think.
But
one
why do
head-
you keep saying one face and 2 bodies as opposed to
He
one head and
doesn't
2
get
bodies?
what
We're all the man with one face.
Yeah, but now I've got one body.
Yeah, well, surely he's the man with 2 bodies then. Again, the description.
Roll up to the man with one face.
So it's full of stuff like that, right? And what I'm saying is that fella, the one-faced man, the 3-breasted woman.
He wouldn't be known
The
as the
one-faced
one-faced man, is
man.
what I'm saying. that is the peculiar thing about him.
Well, they all had names like that. But
Right.
there was one thing in it that didn't even have a nickname. It was so weird.
It didn't.
Oh, gosh, I can't wait to hear this.
It just said unidentified.
What does it look like?
Oh my gosh.
Sort of testicles for eyes.
No
That's,
way.
it just reminded me when you
What
talk
do you
about
mean
strange.
testicles fries?
And what is it? Did he have a normal body?
I didn't even look at that.
Oh,
No,
so
that's what
how
I'm
many
saying. Though. You're
faces?
attracted to the oddness of the thing, and that's what I was saying about Warren when he walks in.
Warren.
It'll be
Warwick.
odd for a minute, and then I'm sure
He
that-
likes
Really?
Warren as a
Really?
name that he makes up for
Get
people.
used to you.
I've got my head around it a bit more, and the way that there's loads of people in the world, and yet you don't see people with like dangly eyes more often. It amazes me.
Oh,
But he's amazed by not seeing things.
Yeah.
It's incredible. He's walking down the street going, oh, everyone's got one head. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Suzanne, see any
One
dangly eyes
face.
today? No, me neither.
It's weird, isn't it? What's going on in the world?
gross. Why is my nose so itchy, you guys?
Went
This is
out,
horrible. I'm like having such a problem. I feel like I have to sneeze and then I don't, and then it's like itching me.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
been
I'm
rough.
just
The
rubbing my
pollen-
nose, and I
the
feel like it's
pollen
obvious.
in Florida is rough right now. It's everywhere. I keep having to cough for weeks now. Just can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
You need
Is there
some
something on my
tissues.
nose?
Oh, just skin.
Okay, good. Cool. I could just feel it.
Went out the other night with the lads. There's a few of us, young, free and single.
Must look like the Swingers.
Oh, it was pretty. It looked like a boy band had gone out. It looked like,
Really?
It looked like NSYNC had hit the streets.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
A friend of mine said, let's go to a club. Right, I haven't been to a nightclub for a long time. Actually, I haven't been.
Is that because your glasses steam up when you walk in out of the cold?
That is a problem in the winter. It's
problem.
not. It's very difficult to make a good impression as you walk in. Your glasses steam up straight away, and you got to take them off and clean them and stuff. And then you get a bit
On
dirty.
your white fronts, you pull your white fronts up
Yeah.
through the jeans,
Yeah.
clean them on that.
Or the back of a girl's dress. But we cruised down to the club. It's one of those big sort of London super clubs, and it's a bit of a queue. I think it's a bit of a chore. But we're queuing up, we're in good spirits, we're looking at it, it sounds pretty funky, we can hear the music coming out. Been in the queue for quite a while, 20, 25 minutes.
Forget it. 25 minutes.
Well, yeah, we were pretty excited by this point. The doorman says, hello lads. I said, yeah, we're coming please. He went, no you're not. I went,
Really?
"What?" He said, you're not coming in. And he just immediately lifted the little rope and sent us away from the queue, right? Okay. And we were slightly perplexed, we were dumbfounded. We didn't know what to do. It was like, this couldn't be happening, it didn't make sense. We just queued up what was going on. And so my friend said, well, we've got to find out why he's not going to let us in. So he goes back over.
I know what you wanted to do. You wanted to tie him up with logic. That'll show a bouncer. Exactly. Yeah. Show him how educated you are and how you can win an argument and make him look stupid. You'll be in that club in no time.
That's what they appreciate. They love
Okay,
that. 'Cause
before
what
he
they
goes on
respect
with the
is
story and find out what happens after this guy asks the bouncer, this is something that I have never understood. Like, I don't understand wanting to go to a nightclub, waiting in the queue for so long, and then getting kicked aside because the bouncer is not only there to check IDs, but they're there to create the ambiance in the nightclub, if you will, I guess. So they have to look at each person, see what they're wearing, even pick out if they're, if they have standards on the way they look. Like, it's so weird. Like, I would hate that to happen to me. That would be horrible.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but we all went out with some friends one night. I didn't have the proper shoes on. I got kicked out of the line, had to go and sit in the car. We had drove like an hour.
Yeah.
We'd driven like an hour there, and we're with a group of friends, and like we had never went out together.
Yeah.
And so I had to sit in the car by myself, dude.
Yeah.
I'm getting mad thinking about it.
Yeah.
This was a decade longer
Horrible.
ago.
Horrible.
Wow. I married that woman that made me sit in the car by myself that night.
I did not.
You'll be in that club in no time.
That's what they appreciate. They love that. Because what they respect is being made to look like a fool. So we went over and...
They really look up to intellectuals.
Exactly, yeah. So one of our mates goes over and he says, why didn't you let us in? And he went, because you didn't have any girls with you. Now... Now, I'll tell you this. That's kicking you when you're down.
Yeah, because
When you're out on a Saturday night trying to get
You're
into a club
looking
to meet
for
women,
girls.
and the reason you're not allowed to go in a club to meet women is because you haven't got any women with you. That's just salt in the wound.
That
It's so
is.
humiliating.
that's
So,
horrible.
A friend of mine says that there's a VIP entrance over there. There was like a woman with a clipboard, the guest list, separate entrance. She said, you've got a little bit of profile, Steve. Why don't we try and use your...
You ran home, got your Golden Globe in your Emmy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I always carry, some of my cuttings with me.
Yeah.
And I felt a bit self-conscious about that. I was thinking, I'm not into this, it's a bit awkward. But he said, look, don't worry, you just stand here. Just like you're having a conversation. I'll go over, I'll point him out, I'll go, oh, there's Steve Merchant over there, at the office. Or whatever.
Oh, God, Steve!
So I thought, well, the things we were out, and I was a bit frustrated, and I thought, we may as well try everything.
Yep.
So I stand there, and my friend goes over and he has a word, and he comes back and he says, it's fine. She can't let us in the VIP entrance because she's not allowed, but what she can do is walk us to the front of the queue, right? And walk in front of the queue and explain. So I think, okay, fine.
Oh, God.
So we walk
That's gonna
past
be
everyone
awkward.
else, right, to the front of the queue.
Oh, no.
She goes up to the guy, she
no.
says, this is Steve Merchant office. The guy goes, I know he is, we're not letting him in. By now, of course, some people have recognised me, so they're trying to have my photo taken. So there's people inside the line that's being allowed in the club. I've got to lean across the rope to have my photo taken with them, even though I'm not allowed in the club. So they go, oh, all right, this is Steve, they're having the photos taken, right, camera phones and that. They're going into the club, with the music, the party's kicking off. I'm outside waiting for the next chump who wants to have his photo taken. I mean, it was mental.
No way!
I was furious. And then one guy, I remember he was chatting, and he goes, oh, yeah, brilliant, I love the podcast and all that stuff. I love, is Carl with you? I said, oh, Carl's not out here. And his girlfriend, she went, who's that? And he went, oh, it's just Steve Merchant, he does The Office, he does things. She went, who cares? Who are you, Bruce Forsyth? And it's that thing when suddenly I'm being humiliated and embarrassed by someone's girlfriend. I never asked for that. I never asked for her opinion on me. I'm sorry if I don't impress you, if I'm not sufficiently famous for you, but it's not my fault.
Oh my God.
It was like I'd gone over to her and tried to show off, and she was annoyed. I was just furious. So I thought, forget this.
Well, I was walking down the street, and there's a group of builders sitting down.
Dude. Hold up.
I couldn't imagine.
What?
That's
He's
horrible.
so good at storytelling, man. I was so invested in that, and now I'm offended for him. That was so crazy.
Horrible.
That is what? That would be ridiculous.
See, one of them goes, all right, Rick. I went, all right, mate. The other one went, not as fat as on telly. Oh, thanks. Not as fat as on telly. So he went with, well, you are fat, but you look even fatter on telly. He didn't say, "Oh God, you don't look fat at all," or "Oh, you look big on telly, but you don't look fat." Just went with, "Not as fat as on telly." And there's nothing I could say, but cheers, mate.
Now, when you said cheers, mate, because did you say that?
I feel like Riggy kind of like that's the interaction. Like you foster your own community. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
You foster your own
being honest.
community.
He's
Exactly.
being true to himself. He wasn't going to hold back or lie. He just going to be true to himself.
Exactly. If we ever do a meet and greet, you know, and a few of you guys come up and start busting my chops.
You can bust his chops. Don't bust mine. I'll cry. I will. I'll cry. Don't do it. I'm just kidding. I won't cry.
Okay, I won't judge you then.
On telly. And there's nothing I could say, but cheers, mate.
Now, when you said cheers, mate, because did you say that because you were? Because I'd say cheers, mate, because I'd be a little bit scared of them.
No, it was like sarcasm, and you know, I laughed after. Yeah.
So you can get away with sarcasm with working class blokes.
I'm a little bit more secure with a working class male than you, aren't I?
I'm terrified of them. I feel like they're going to turn on me at any minute.
You don't feel confident sort of backing in a lorry driver.
Terrified.
Oh my God.
Because if I did, he'd probably lean out and just go and get your dad, mate.
Yeah, not you.
Fuck off, I'm not interested.
Not you. Yeah.
Yo, I love Steven, but we're so different. We're so different. I saw this meme the other day, and it was like me when I start a new job, and it's like a guy, and he's like, I could kick everyone's ass here. And it's like, oh no, I think I've thought that before. That's so embarrassing.
I have literally...
You just got to check. You know, like, if everybody tried to jump on me right here, could I get out?
Joking or not, I have literally heard you say those words to me.
Really?
I can kick everybody's ass in here.
Oh no.
And you may have been playing around a little bit, but honestly, you
I was playing
could've.
around.
You
I was
probably
playing
could've.
around.
Yeah, not you.
Fuck off, I'm not interested.
Not you. Yeah.
Go get your dad.
Oh, he's only gonna read it down.
That jingle there signifying, of course, once again, another reading from the diary of Karl Pilkington. Now, of course, for those of you who have not been keeping abreast of Karl's medical complaints, just bring us up to speed, Karl. You had to go into hospital because previously you'd had...
I've been in and out, honestly. I've been in and out of that hospital just with
Oh no.
kidney problems, really painful and what have you. And
He had kidney stones, all right.
No, but seriously.
I had a bit of a lie-in today because I have to get up early for my operation tomorrow. Not only have I got to have tubes shoved up my knob, but I also have to get up at 5:50. Suzanne said I could have what I want for my last dinner. It's not your last dinner, you're going for an operation.
Yeah, but you can't take things for granted these days.
Oh,
I had shepherd's pie and peas. Suzanne made it from scratch. As nice as it was annoying. Because making stuff from scratch means loads of pots, and it's my job to do the washing up. So much as the food was nice, There was loads of pans and that. People who get their last dinner on death row don't have to wash up. Got up at 5:55. You were supposed to be getting up at 5:50 on the other page. You were 5 minutes late getting up.
He's often late.
Bro, you have to, I love how he turned the page back. He's like, hold up.
You said 5:50.
Stephen's very perceptive. Wow.
You were supposed to be getting up at 5:50 on the other page. You were 5 minutes late getting up.
He's often late.
Often late. Got to the hospital and had to wait in the waiting room. There was another 9 people in there waiting to be sorted. I got called in. They sat me on a bed and took all my details down. 5 minutes later, I'd been knocked out. I got woke up when they were ripping a pipe out of my throat. I felt more rough this time. The doctor came to see me and said he couldn't find a stone, so I must have passed it. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah, we filled your kidney with water and expanded it, and there was no hiding place. I sat in the recovery room for an hour while they found me a bed. One of the fellows who was sat in the room with me this morning got wheeled in. They couldn't wake him up. All the nurses were laughing because he didn't want to wake up. I bet they were laughing at me when I was in the theatre. Someone told me they totally strip you when they're operating. I would have looked like the alien on the Boswell incident.
Boswell!
The Boswell.
It's quite a nice analogy if it weren't for the fact that you said Boswell. It's the Roswell incident. Didn't sleep much through the night because there was a 60-year-old fella shouting at the nurse about his pillows. I don't think I slept through a full hour with one thing or another going on. My bed was next to the toilet, so I kept hearing the flush.
How do they sleep in hospitals, though? They wake you up to give you fucking sleeping pills and things, don't they? How do you sleep in there?
I don't know what it is. There's no air. There was an old fella across from me who kept breaking wind. He didn't even try and cover it. He was just of that age where he didn't care. Just like, that's what I do. I'm in the hospital, leave me alone.
What do you think?
The only time we've ever slept in the hospital was during
Having babies.
pregnancies, yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, yeah, and even that, it's rough.
Yeah.
Probably,
Well, for
probably
you,
a
I
little
mean-
rougher for you. It might have, I don't know, the bed that they had me sleeping on.
The whole labor thing, yeah, that's
Your
a
bed
little
looked
bit
pretty
rougher,
comfortable.
But if we're talking about comfort, yeah, my bed was
just-
way more comfortable than what you
I was
had because you
joking.
had a pull-out couch. But
Just like, that's what I do. I'm in the hospital, leave me alone.
What do you mean?
Just, I don't know what was wrong with him. I talked to him because at first I felt sorry for him. I was a little bit like, he's had no visitors. No one's calling him up, so I'll talk to him. But then he got that familiar with me that he'd just be doing it whilst I'm chatting to him. Just like he's my granddad or something. It's just like, oh, that's what he does. It's like, well, I'm in as well. Stop doing that.
stop doing that.
Honestly, unbelievable. He didn't even try and cover it with a cough. It was just like, that's
You didn't try to cover it with a cough.
How would you cover it with a cough?
just non-stop.
Got home and sat down. My pains are
That's something
We've all
that I've
done
never
that,
thought
okay?
about. That's, yeah,
We've all
covering it
done-
with a cough, but
Yeah, trying to get it like that.
I've never thought about just getting up there in age to the point to where you just don't really care anymore.
Well-
I'm in the hospital. Who knows? Like Carl, he might be the same mentality of Carl. Like, you never know. I'm in the hospital for something simple, but I'm up there in age. This might be the end. So I'm sitting here talking. I don't really have time to stop
Yeah.
and cover it up with a cough
No,
anymore.
I'm not worried
just
about
gonna
it. I feel
just
like
keep
once
talking,
you get
keep talking
a certain
to you.
age, I feel like either you can't control down there also because that stuff gives out too. But I'm just saying once you get a
That's
certain
true,
age, you
but
don't
it's
care.
way funnier to think that he's just had enough and he's
just
like,
like,
I don't have time to cover it up anymore.
Doesn't matter. I don't care.
You cover it with a cough.
Just non-stop.
Got home and sat down. My pains are coming back, but the doctor said this would happen, that my insides are still in shock, so I need to take it easy. It's 9 o'clock. I'm in agony. I can't do the diary for the rest of the day. Jesus. So you may as well just tell us so. Right?
Suzanne just got frustrated with me because it was
You like his reenactment.
I can't do the diary for the rest of the day.
Oh my god.
Easy. It's 9 o'clock. I'm in agony.
His face.
I can't do the diary for the rest of the day. Jesus. So you may as well just tell us then what happened.
Suzanne just got frustrated with me because I was rolling about on the floor and she was trying to watch Arthur. Right? So that was on the other night.
I thought it was when you lodge her.
So
And she said, look, if you're in pain, do something. She said,
you went and got a cold plate.
Yeah. No, use an ashtray. Plates are for liver damage.
got
A hold cold.
in a taxi. He filled up on the way, which was annoying.
He did
That
it.
is cheeky.
That really, I mean, he could
On
see
the
I was
way
in
to the
pain.
hospital.
That's
We don't have an
hilarious.
ambulance driver.
So
No
anyway,
way.
he gets us there and he doesn't charge us, which is pretty decent.
Oh, that's all right, yeah.
So this gay fella came through. And,
How do you know he was gay?
Just the way he was. I'm not having a go. He was a good fella. Do you know what I mean?
A doctor, you mean?
No, he was a nurse.
Right.
And he came through and just sort of went, "Oh, how are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I've had better days." So he got
As
me
you
on
mentioned in the diary, I remember the first time when I came here, they said the nurse might put a tablet up my arse. I thought the chances of that happening had just increased.
God!
Yeah, but I would have let him do it. Honestly, I was that sort of out of it. That,
Of course you'd let him do it. He's a qualified nurse.
No, but the way I am now, say if it was just a tablet for sorting out my blood pressure, and I walked in there and he went, "Oh, hello," and he said, "Yeah, let's pop that." I'd go, "Hang on a minute." But you know what I mean is that night I would have just let him put 3 up. Honestly, it's just weird, isn't it? How your body just goes, let them get on with it, and you trust anyone, don't you? When you're in that much pain and you need.
And they're a qualified nurse, yes. Karl, of course, has written a poem about the experience entitled "My Ward."
All I've done here, I've been through I don't know what the word is, a bad experience.
Trauma.
A trauma, yeah. I've been through a load of trauma. So I'm just finishing it off with a little sort of picture for people.
Go on then.
Me, a Chinese fella, and an old bloke who looked like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Don't know what was wrong with him, but breaking wind was the symptoms. No one visited him or called him. He seemed quite lost to me. As well as wind problems, he had a colostomy. When I left, I said, "See you" to the old man. Turned out the other fella wasn't Chinese. He was from Japan. I never found out what was up with him.
Fantastic. Great.
Another
You've got a
good
little
one.
picture there,
Another
haven't you,
good
of
one.
me sat in my ward. I'm sat there with that fella who I didn't talk to, the old fella who had wind problems. And that's what a poem is, isn't it?
But the detail about you thought he was Chinese and he turned out to be Japanese, how is that evocative? That's just a piece of misinformation.
It's just
I like it.
I imagine a lot of people make
I
the
like
same
it because
mistake.
you know why? It's like he even makes digressions within his poem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like he could have gone back and erased that, but he didn't. He left that digression in,
Left it.
and I think that's great.
It's very honest.
That's Carl.
I
I had
love
a
it.
late night last night because I stayed up to watch a programme about monkeys.
Doesn't surprise
It's
me.
already good.
Of course he did.
It's already good.
Now, before I read on, I mean, is this not some kind of monkey news? Is this not a late return to monkey news?
Well, it's not that good.
Is it not?
It's not
Whereas
that
the other
good.
monkey news is,
Oh, chimpanzee, that's some more shit.
this is what he says. This is what he
Okay.
gleaned from the programme about monkeys.
Dang it.
It sat on a bridge and wanted stuff off people to walk over the bridge.
What?
So it was acting as some kind of toll booth,
This
was
is
it?
ridiculous.
No, it was a bridge in like the jungle.
Oh, shut the
Either way.
fuck up.
And it's a monkey that sat on a bridge, and a lot of tourists go through the area.
No, it's a monkey
to look at them.
who realised that if he sits there, he'll get stuff because it look like it's a cute little chimp begging.
No, but every time.
Yeah, because you give a monkey, I'm as bad as him now. If you give a chimpanzee a banana, and he starts realising that humans have things to give.
Yeah, but it's all
Squirrels
sorts of
learn
stuff.
that. But you don't go, you wouldn't say, went to the park, there's squirrels waiting at the gate. You have to give them a toll to go in. They're only going to give them nuts. They come up to you every time. You fucking idiot.
Went to bed after watching it and fell asleep thinking about it on the bridge right now. It's a bit bad, really, because the monkey should work harder for its food. It made me remember the slug I saw yesterday that was eating bird poo. Nobody would ever help a
What?
slug with food like they do with ducks and monkeys. A slug's life is pretty bad. The only time they come out of their den is when it's raining.
Den.
So even their days out are depressing.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
It is like, it's a horrible thing to be in it.
A slug, yeah. Pretty
You've been
bad.
talking about what is it like to be a slug.
No, just because like the monkey, even though it was being quite aggressive, everyone was like, "Oh, give it some water," and it was well like kitted out. It had like chocolate bars, bottled water, some like fizzy stuff, and all that.
An iPod, it was listening to Monkey News.
He could have had one if he wanted one. He was getting away with murder on that bridge.
I
And
think
that's
Steven wants monkey news back.
He does.
just because it was furry. Yeah, if that was like a blob, like a slug, there's no way people would be that friendly towards it. And it just annoys me how you get this pecking order for like, no matter what creature you are, favouritism. And that slug was only eating that bird poo because it wasn't being offered stuff.
If it was offered toffees or whatever.
Well, it's just sad, isn't it? It's come to that. That's what its life has come to.
It's not. That's mollusk
like
that's
I said.
down on its fucking luck.
It didn't live in a big country house. Its wife left it, the kids went, it
I
started
was
hitting the
watching
bottle.
it, and I kind of thought, and look, they do only come out in the rain, and it's depressing, and it'll probably get killed in a bit. And that was its last meal.
I always do feel bad when I step on a snail or a slug, man. We used to get them all the time when it would be in the morning or when it was rainy or dewy or on our front porch. A little strip of concrete that went out to the driveway.
Yep.
And crunch, crunch, crunch.
You never.
There was 3 of them.
And you didn't know that they were there.
Yep, it's bad.
But it wouldn't prefer steak and chips, Carl. It doesn't have.
It must like a leaf or you know, at the end of the day, it's an insect. They love it.
It's not an insect.
Well, it's part of that gang. It's part of that. No, it's part of
They
that.
hang out together. They hang out together.
Why do you think it's part of that
Because
gang?
it knocks about in the woods in the same place as a spider does. But what I'm saying is they're eating boring stuff because that is what's
It's
in
not
their
boring
area.
stuff to them. They're not. I have no opinion of it at all. They take in sustenance.
No, but where you are is what you eat. When I'm in London, I'll have beans on toast for lunch. On holiday, what? Tapas? Go on, I'll have a bit. So it's whatever you eat, what's in that area.
Never heard of that.
Suzanne went off to work and I went to the shop to buy some
I'm
envelopes.
very different. Like, I would rather, like, I do like going out and experiencing new foods. Don't get me wrong. But I would be completely fine eating the same thing every single day for the rest of my life as long as I knew that it was going to sustain me. I'm getting all my vitamins and minerals and all that.
You would.
Gosh,
You would.
at this point, it's like, okay, I've eaten enough new things. I'm just bored of always trying to find something new to try.
Right.
What's going to be for dinner tonight? I don't know. Just please, the same thing every night at this point.
But it's troublesome because you can do that, but then the rest of your family cannot.
They
do
can't,
that.
and I have to deal with it.
Whatever you eat, what's in that area.
Suzanne went off to work and I went to the shop to buy some envelopes. The shop was empty, but the fella behind the counter was on the phone and just kept talking, even though he could see I was waiting. I started to count backwards from 20. When I got to 6, he hung up and served me. I won't use the shop again. Question, why count backwards from 20?
So he's thinking, what's going to happen at 1? If I start counting from 1, he's going, well, let him carry on.
What, out loud?
So, not really loud, but like more of a mouth action, so he could see who was doing it. Do you know like
Sorry, you just started miming counting backwards to a man in a shop.
He's on the phone. The shop
Yes.
is empty. I
Yes.
thought he'd like me custom. He could have served me and stay on the phone. Even though I don't like that, at least he's still doing what he needs to do.
I'd have said,
working a
sorry,
shop.
can I just get these, please?
Yeah. Well, I stood there and I thought, it's annoying me now. My kidneys aching and I started to get a bit of a sweat on. So I thought, right, I'm going to give him 20 seconds, and if he hasn't got off the phone, I'm leaving.
You are
giving
one of the strangest people.
It's just giving yourself a thing. I could have been stood there for
Free.
ages.
He's one of the strangest people who's free to walk
It's
the
about
streets.
No, I set myself.
You know, if that situation happened, though, and I didn't do something, and then they made me wait, and they finally, 10 minutes later, take care of me, at home later, I would have felt emasculated. I would have been like, oh, why did you just let it happen?
Yeah.
Why didn't you look at him and just count down from 20?
Or
As
say,
you're staring
hey,
at him.
Can I cash out with this, please? Like, are you ready?
Yeah, that
Like,
would annoy me.
Literally, when you're a cashier like that, though, you can do your job while you're on the phone. I've seen people do it before.
Yeah, you
I
can.
could do it. Like, you know how to do it. You know how to ring people up and then just cash them out. You don't have to say nothing to them. You know,
Nah,
most
it's
of the
better
time when you
to
get
it's
cashed
better
out.
to confrontation isn't always a bad thing.
Yeah.
Free.
Ages.
He's one of the strangest people who's free to walk
It's
the
about
streets.
No, I set myself a little target, and I thought I don't want to waste another 30 seconds in here. I'll give him 20. It worked. He served me at 6.
But it didn't work. Yeah, but did he do it because you were doing that, or did he finish his phone call?
I don't know. I was busy counting.
That's a great answer.
I didn't know I was busy counting. I tell you what, though, if I made eye contact with somebody and they were mouthing the numbers, I would be like, what
As
the hell
they're
is
staring
happening
at
when you
me?
get to 1? Like, I don't know you.
Exactly.
Like, why are you counting down? So I can see his logic in it. I mean,
15.
be like, okay, let's get this guy.
14.
But he's doing
13.
this, though.
10. At 10, it's like 10. 9.
See, if you came in and you were doing that, it would take me 18 maybe, if you're counting backwards from 20, to get off the phone. Like, because I would be like, what the heck? Because I can hear you. But if you were mouthing it, it would take me a minute to catch on. And I'd be like, this dude's crazy. Let him get it out of the store. Like,
I would think that you're going to stab me.
Yeah.
I would 100% think I'm getting stabbed at one.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Yeah, I would definitely. Like, that would be my first thought. And my third.
My third.
So, yeah, I'm not playing. I'll serve you at 6 too.
I'm very curious as to, like, I know that whenever they start a new series, of course they talk. You know, you always have that meeting of like, how is this season going to go? What are we going to do differently? So I wonder how the conversation went to make Steven have a little bit more input in it, because I feel like season 1, we didn't get a lot out of him. And so I'm definitely enjoying this, that they have everybody talking, because I feel like Ricky, it's his show. So he was taking over, asking the questions, kind of starting the conversations. Steven would read the emails. But then after that, it was like we didn't really hear much from him. So now it's like,
well, some people have said that these are like edited down versions from the full longer podcast.
Oh, okay,
so
see, I didn't know that.
Maybe people were just like, "Hey, I've watched the full podcast. More Steven. What the heck, guys? Add some more Steven."
I wonder if it was like a demand, because
I do like it. I think the show is the most well-rounded right now that it's ever been.
Yeah, definitely.
We still get Carl's diary. We still get now we get the poems.
Yeah.
And yeah, a little story from Steven too. Yeah.
I like it. I dig this. It's like a well-rounded, like you said, it's very nice. But yeah, they're all super funny, and they all like, I don't know, I just like their dynamic going back and forth.
I do
they
too.
Just take jabs at each other.
I do too. All right, friends. Thanks for watching another episode with us. We will see you on the next one.
Bye, friends.
Peace.
I'm not scared of your love, so show me